We're back, and so is Marco Hunter-Lopez, a rather remarkable young man. At times when we find ourselves sometimes concerned about the future of our country and the quality of young people now preparing to take the reins of responsibility for it in the days to come, or days and years to come. In this case, Marco is a 15-year-old, very, very impressive young man indeed. Marco, you were telling us a little bit about this episode back on the 2nd of February and in the days that followed it, and how you were treated. There's also been apparently activity in which you've been involved with the school board
Yes.
in Wylie as well. Tell us about that, if you would.
So that first school board meeting following the February 2nd event, we had a lot of people come out and speak out against what was happening and calling for the school board to take meaningful action. The school board has yet to take meaningful action.
Meaningful action with respect specifically to this idea of having Sharia supremacists.
Correct. So they're essentially gaslighting the citizens of Wylie by saying that we're misunderstanding this incident. But we have more evidence pointing to other Islamification events, such as adopting new halal menus starting this spring, such as the same organization last year. And all this has came out because of this video. And now more journalists are uncovering certain stories. Last year, the same organization had parents go into the teacher's lounge, Islamic parents, and give pamphlets to teachers on how to treat Muslim students and how to accommodate them. So this is a widespread effort,
as
100%.
Preferential treatment, presumably.
Correct. And that is...
Marco, let me just ask you, if I could, about this halal thing.
Yes.
My understanding is that the state has basically adopted the principle that there will only be halal food served because it's too complicated to have multiple kitchens dedicated to, the food prepared according to Islam and the food that is, consumed by everybody else. Is that what's happening here, or is there just a certain menu for those who wish to consume only halal foods?
That I do not have 100% knowledge on. I do have the copy of the menu that says that they're introducing halal food now. So that's all the information I have on that.
Okay. Well, it's worth looking into because I think
it is.
It's actually worse than just having a choice of menu.
Correct.
If you don't want to eat halal, you will go hungry, I think, in
Correct.
the school system of Texas now.
Correct. And if the school board, so we actually, after that meeting, obviously no meaningful action, and all the parents of Wylie are calling for the principal to be fired because of the history of this. There was actually someone that used to work in her office.
No. I'm sure it's not all the parents, but
correct.
A number of parents.
Mostly. Most parents have been calling for this, and someone that used to work in her office actually recently came out and wrote this, I would say, small excerpt on how she used to work for the principal and how the principal is insincere and, claims that she loves her students and loves the school, but she's actually there for herself. So this is eyewitness, and this is people that used to work for her in her office. So this is definitely something that other people have discovered about the insincerity of the principal. And so following these incidences, actually yesterday, me and about two of my friends walked into the school library because one of my friends needed his computer replaced. And the principal had told me and my other friend to leave because we weren't getting anything fixed. So we walk out, and the principal walks out. Instead of just walking out, she walks around us and takes the long way. And so I've had other students ask me, like, they've noticed that the principal has acted this way towards me, very childish actions. And a few weeks ago, the principal...
Sort of shunning you, is it?
Correct, yes. And a few weeks ago at lunch, a friend had called over to say hi to her at lunch. She walked over, and once she saw me, she quickly turned around and had a frown on her face and walked off quickly. And so this is something that we've noticed. And the school board requests that if you have concern, to email them directly. So I've emailed all 6 of the members, and I have received no response. And it's been about 2.5 weeks now, and I've followed up, no response on this. And so they obviously do not want to take action on this.
On this or on any other aspect
Correct.
Of your concerns expressed to them earlier. Marco, let me put this into a slightly larger context, and we don't have a lot of time to do this, but we're having this conversation in the immediate aftermath of some very extraordinary discussions and ultimately votes in the state Board of Education, not to be confused with the individual school boards. And as you may know, the outcome of it was that a curriculum was adopted for K through 12 social studies in the state of Texas, and almost certainly in a lot of other states that emulate the Texas curriculum. It's going to be, I believe, a very different kind of program than what students like you have been treated to date. A pro-American program, rather than one that is extolling Islam and Sharia and, the sort of revisionist history of the left of this country. Any thoughts on the importance of that kind of study for people of your age and going through the programs that you are? And especially, if you would, we're going to focus increasingly on this program on the national security implications of what our kids are studying and what they're being indoctrinated with. And your thoughts on that would be welcome too.
Yes, I do think that a pro-America curriculum, adopting that would definitely be a win, because we as students are impressionable. And if you give us any sort of doubts about our country, we're not going to expect our students to love our country if we're being taught to hate it. And so we are very impressionable. I think that you need to be taught America's the greatest nation. We are the only nation that understands that our rights come from God and not the government. And that's what makes our form of government amazing. And that's why our founders came and started this. So I think this is a 250-year project that is still going strong. And I think that it's important that in the classrooms it's taught that we need to love our nation and love the values that we have, not adopting a Sharia supremacist curriculum that teaches things that are anti-Western.
Well, that's about as succinctly and as powerfully said as by anybody. Marco, you are a most impressionable perhaps, but most impressive young man. And I wish you the very best. And thank you for standing up for freedom in your own school, and I think being an exemplar for a lot of other kids besides. And I hope that you will continue to carry that fight forward. And we look forward to updates from you in the days to come.
Yes, sir.
My friend.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, folks. I hope you'll do so again next time. Until then, go forth and multiply.